This is a video for how to go about utilizing parameters in Autodesk Fusion. To get started with parameters, we will go to the Modify tab and we will go to Change Parameters. And you're going to see this new menu show up, and it's eventually going to look a little bit like a spreadsheet. And I want you to notice there's two different types of parameters. There's user parameters, which are created by the user of Fusion, and model parameters, which is created by Fusion as you go through and design an object. So we're going to start out creating our own user parameters. So we're going to click plus up here. We're going to be creating a box with a hole in it, and we have to start naming some things. So I'm going to call this box, and you have to go underscore, and I'm going to type the word width. I want you to notice that I'm using uppercase letters. You can use lowercase letters if you wish, but just be minded that everything in Fusion is case sensitive. So you'd have to use a capital B or a lowercase b or whatever you choose to do, however you choose to design. And also you have to use an underscore and not space when you're naming things. So we're going to box width, and we're going to give the expression of 8 inches. And notice how it gives us a value of 8, and we're going to say OK. And you'll see we have a user parameter now. The name of that parameter is box width. It's in inches, and the expression is 8 inches. We're going to click plus again, and our next parameter is going to be box height. And what we want is we want the box height to somehow be related to the box width. So I'm just going to hit B here on my keyboard, and automatically I get this menu here with box width 8 inches. And I'm going to click, and we're going to say that the box height is always going to be half of the box width. So I'm going to go divided by 2. Box width divided by 2 gives me the value of 4. We're going to go ahead and say OK. We're going to go ahead and click plus again. And now we're going to do box depth. Box underscore depth. And we want our box depth to always be, let's say, 1.5 the distance of the box height. So I'm going to hit the letter B here, and we're going to click on box height, and we're going to say times 1.5. Now, what's nice about using multiplication is, I could make this just a little bit larger if I wanted to, or I can make this a little bit smaller as I go in and design. Dividing is fine, but sometimes I really like utilizing decimals. I multiply by decimals. So sometimes if I'm going to do half of something, I say times 0.5. That's kind of what I've done. So our box height now, our box depth is going to be 1.5 the distance of the box height. We're going to say OK. We have one more user parameter, and we're going to do a hole diameter. So we're going to say hole. We're going to go underscore DIA. Should have capitalized that. DIA, and for our expression here, I'm going to hit the letter B here. And, I can say, I always want that to be, a certain relationship to the box depth. And I'm going to say for box depth, I'm going to say times 0.7 of whatever the box depth is. It's going to be 7/10. That's going to be the diameter. I want to be a large hole in relationship to what's the back. So it's always going to be 70% of whatever the box depth is. We're going to say OK. Now, just before we get out of the menu, there's something here that will allow you to import parameters if you made them elsewhere. There's another kind of program you can load into Fusion for that if you choose to make them separately. And you can also export your parameters out of here into an external file. That's another video for another time. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to go to Create Sketch, and I want to click where the front turns towards me here. I'm going to go to Create and go to Rectangle, Center Rectangle, and I'm going to click on my origin here. And as I drag out, I'm not going to place anything. And you'll notice that the height of my rectangle is in blue. And if I just hit the letter B over here, automatically I'm going to get a menu show up, and I want that to be the box height. And I'm going to click box height, and it's automatically going to adjust. I'm going to hit Tab, hit the letter B again, and I want that to be my box width. And I'm going to hit Enter. And notice that when I hit Enter, I have these FXs next to my 8 here and to my 4. That means that these function as something from parameters. If I just grabbed a hold of dimension and just start dimension and just typed in numbers, you're going to see this FX here because it's always going to function. Let's go up to Modify and go to Change Parameters real quick. And as I drag this over here to the side, if I change my 8 to a 6 and hit Tab, automatically this is going to adjust. I told the box height to always be half the box width, and I changed that to 6. Automatically it adjusts to 3. It's nice because we can automatically change things based off of one number. You could do an entire design just based off of one number and have all of your equations relate to that beginning number. Let's say OK. Let's finish sketch. Let's click on our house. Let's hit the letter E on our keyboard, and we want the box depth now. So if I hit the letter B here, I'm going to go to box depth, and I'm going to hit Enter. Automatically, it's adjusting for me. Let's click on the top so we can look straight down on the top. I kind of want to rotate this over so I have the width going, left to right, and the height going top to bottom. And I'm going to grab a hold of the whole command, and I'm going to click on our surface here, and I want this to go all the way through. and down here at the bottom, we're going to highlight where the hole diameter would be, and I hit the letter H, and you're going to see hole diameter. Nice. Next, I have a reference, and I want to have my reference from the left-handed side. If I hit the letter B here, I want that to be the box width, and I want it to be divided by 2. And our next reference needs to come from the top, and I want that to be the box height, and we're going to divide that by 2. Makes it real easy. Excuse me, the box depth, excuse me, my bad. Box depth, got thinking ahead. Box depth divided by 2. And it automatically adjusts where that is, now that is centrally located. And let's say okay. I come up to my house here, and you see we now have ourselves a little bit of a rectangular prism. I called it a box. You know, it's not really like an open box or a hollow box, but I have a rectangular prism with a hole in it. Let's go to modify, and let's go down to change parameters. And if I said, you know, that hole diameter, I don't really like that. I want to change that to 0.6, and I hit enter, it's automatically going to adjust for us. If I said, you know, the box depth, I actually decided I want that to be 1.75, and I hit enter, automatically everything changes. Notice how that hole stayed in the middle, and it automatically adjusted to whatever I put in for the equation. Let's say okay. Let's go ahead and hit the save button real quick. I'm just going to call this box. You can call it whatever you wish. I'm going to go to save. Let's go to design, go to drawing, and go to from design. Notice that you might have a new menu if you've done a new Fusion update. Make sure you go to a template. If you don't have a template, you can just do anything from here. If you're taking a class that I teach, you want your PLTW title block as your template. And we're going to go ahead and say okay. And as I come in and place the view, I'm just going to place that front view. I'm going to scale that up just a little bit. It's still kind of small here. I'm going to see if I can change that to a half. And let's just go to a half. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and start projecting my views. I'm going to project this over. I'm not going to go with an isometric view here, just for the sake of the video. And as we place our views, we're going to be going in and placing some dimensions. Now, just for the sake of, you know, some of my own, let's say, I don't use the word perfectionism or something, but I just want to make sure we have our center lines here, and we have our center mark up here at the top. So let's go into dimension. And when I go to place a dimension, I can click and drag out that dimension. I'm going to right click and say okay. Now, if I wanted this to be a different number that was a parameter, I can double click on this, and when it comes over, you can see that the design is from box 1 and the property here is a part number, and there's a lot of different ways that we can go in and change whatever property we might want when we place a dimension. But you can also have something based upon a property as well, or off of a parameter. So if I go to text, and let's say I go down to something known as a leader note, I can click on the edge of this here, and let's just drag out. And when this pops up, the property, you know, the type here can be a parameter. And when I go to parameter, right here it says box depth. I want that to be my hole diameter. I'm going to click on hole diameter and go to insert property. And it automatically will give me that. Now, if just by some chance you're doing a different kind of a design and you wanted that to be the box, you know, height, I should have just double clicked here. I can just double click and go back. What I meant to do is highlight all this because I didn't want the number to show up again. And I can say, give me the box width number and go to insert property, and it's automatically going to give me that. There's a lot of different ways you can insert properties into a drawing. So the main reason why we're just taking a look at dimensions here is I'm just going to place a depth, a width, and a height, and we'll get our diameter, just our basic dimension. I'm not going to worry too much about location dimensions. So now we have this. Let's go ahead and go to save and say save. And let's go back to our design here. Now let's go to modify, and let's go to change parameters. And I want to change that 8 to a 12 and hit enter, and it's automatically adjusting for us. Let's say okay. Let's go to save. Let's say okay. We're going to go back to our drawing. And up here, I want to go to our reference here, and I want to update the drawing. Now everything got a little bit bigger here, so I need to go back to my parent view, and let's just change that to a quarter. You know, it's going to be a 1:4 scale ratio, and automatically everything is adjusting for us. And notice that those numbers automatically adjusted. Now the nice thing about parameters is I don't have to come back over here into sketches and right click and go to edit sketch and go searching for any numbers. I automatically know what I want. Now within the parameters menu, Now we have something known as model parameters. If I drag this down to make this just a little bit bigger, I'm going to click the little arrow next to this box here. When I go to sketch, you can see like a D5 and a D6. That D stands for dimension. And this is just basically saying how many dimensions you've placed as you've gone through. We could, reference these as we go through, but it'd be almost kind of pointless to, because they're all referencing a user dimension. The only ones that aren't are any kind of a taper angle that you have when you create an extrusion. I generally don't use too many taper angles when I design, but if I did, I could go in and change the degree of the taper angle. There's a lot of different things I could do down here, but mainly I like designing within user parameters because it makes everything so simple. If I want to change any dimension, I can just change whatever value I gave the equation. You can go a lot more in depth with these equations, including the pi function, a lot of different things you can do with design, but this makes life a lot simpler going from a design and just back to the drawing. It's a very, very efficient way to design. So this has been a video for how to go about utilizing parameters in Autodesk Fusion.